I'm still bitter about how last season went for us. So I've officially thrown the baby out with the bathwater, binned off a whole load of established, experienced players that just haven't been getting the job done for us. And I've replaced them with about 24 teenagers released from Premier League clubs. We've lowered our total wage outlay, and I'm either going to be just called a genius when we win the league and sell players on for £500,000, or we're going to get relegated because they're just a bunch of kids who aren't very good. Hello and welcome to part 46 of Backing the Boro. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we're going to be having a look at all of the summer comings and goings, and there've been a lot. Plus, playing our first game of the season away against FC United. Firstly, finances. There's been two sizable board investments over the summer, £350,000 each, and we're still almost £500,000 in the red. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. What I have done is kept us well within our wage budget. We're over £1,000 inside our wage budget, which I've never done before. And we've signed a lot of players. If we have a look, firstly, at the players who've been released, there's a lot of familiar names on here that have left the club, including the first wave of Patreon players who've been released. So expect a update on the Patreon players as a separate video soon across both saves. It might even be today. I'm recording this in advance. Long story. There might be another video out today. We'll have to see. So we've released Jake Howells, Jack Redshaw, Henry Cowans, Yannick Aziakonu, Danny Philliskirk, Luke Hannon, Sam Guthrie, Jack Hartley. These are all players who were in and around the first team last year who were all earning too much money to justify keeping them at the club. That's probably about £10,000 a week in player that we've released there. Plus, a bunch of the youngsters have moved on as well. I don't know if any of the Patreon guys have found new clubs. Matt Quine's gone to Hensford, was that? Chris Chapman on a free transfer. Liam Hammond still on a free transfer. James Hankin has gone to Tunbridge. But it's the big difference from what we've usually done is the sheer volume of players that we've brought in. And as you can see, we've brought in a lot more than we've released whilst lowering the wage budget or maintaining the wage budget. And that's because of our new transfer policy of bringing people in on the mega cheap. So we're going to go through these fairly quickly. You'll get to know them as time goes on. We've signed about 8 right backs, and I'm not exaggerating. My plan is to just load them all out and dominate the right back position throughout the league so that we can then use the special K, and because they won't be able to play their right backs when they play us, we'll just fill the left hand side. There's a method to it. We haven't managed to loan any of them out yet, though, so it's not really working. Right, Reece Williams, right back number 1, 18 years old, Welsh under-21 international, 3-star current ability, 5-star potential. He comes in from Liverpool. I did break my non-league to legend rules to do this, as will become obvious when you see who we've signed. This isn't non-league to legend. It's fine. I basically went through the top 10 Premier League clubs and offered trials to everyone they released, and everyone who was 5-star I've signed. It was a very simple transfer policy. I'm desperate to get promoted at this point. Joshua Sawyer is a centre-back, 18 years old, 3-star current ability, 5-star potential, comes in from Chelsea. Chris Rowley is an 18-year-old striker, 1-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. Our scouts are rubbish. You'll see a lot of these are a bit hit and miss. He came in from Man City. Akeem Forte is an 18-year-old striker, 1.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential. He comes in from Arsenal. This is why I've signed so many, because they are a bit hit and miss. Josh Fleming, another right back, 18 years old, 1-star current ability, 3-star potential, came in from Tottenham. He was rubbish. Mohamed Mustafa, another right back, 18 years old, 1.5-star current ability, 4-star potential. He came in from West Ham. Billy Banks is an 18-year-old midfielder, 2-star current ability, 4.5-star potential, came in from Man City. Right, this guy's going to have to be new Omar, because we obviously already have Omar who plays up front for us, so we can't have two Omars because I'm just going to get confused. So new Omar is 17 years old and Spanish, but we're not going to have the Ercolani problem. I did check. He's got another nationality of English. He's got 2-star current ability, 5-star potential. He came in from Tottenham. Joseph Power is an 18-year-old goalkeeper who I don't understand why we signed. He doesn't have any current ability. The little greyed out stars. I mean, what's the point of him? And only 3.5 star potential. He comes in from Tottenham. Francis Kalu is an 18-year-old central midfielder, 1.5 star current ability, 4 star potential. Came in from West Ham. I'll perhaps fast forward this when I put the video out. A lone player, Robbie Nadat, is a goalkeeper on loan from Villa for the season. 19 years old, 2 star current ability, 5 star potential. Not as good as Ted Can. Oh, scouts, learn to scout. Sebastian Kingdon is an 18-year-old centre-back, 1.5 star current ability, 4 star potential. Came in from Wolves. Yes, Wolves finished in the top 10 in the Premier League. Ed McDonough-Sundby is an 18-year-old central midfielder, 2 star current ability, 5 star potential. He came in from Bournemouth. Yes, Bournemouth finished in the top 10 in the Premier League. Iodanis Kaminis is Greek. I don't remember checking him. Presumably with English as another nationality. Excellent. So 18-year-old Greek under-21 international right back. 1.5 star current ability, 4 star potential. He comes in from Chelsea. Chris Ilderton is an 18-year-old centre-back, 1.5 star current ability, 4 star potential. Came in from Tottenham. Nick Moss, 18-year-old defensive midfielder. Don't worry, you can play central midfield as well. 2 star current ability, 4.5 star potential. Arsenal. Jamie Redhead is another loan from Villa. They're not a parent club or anything. They just came up on the scout reports. He's going to come in and be our best centre-back. 20-year-old Grenadian international. 19 caps for Granada already. Is that... There's not lots of countries that are similarly spelled, is there? 3.5 star current ability, 5 star potential. Apparently considerably better than Laskowski and Lionel Stone. He was on loan at Woking for the last 2 years and now has a loan with us. So we've actually signed a decent player of experience. I think he's pretty much the only one. James Byrne is an 18-year-old central midfielder, 2 star current ability, 4.5 star potential. Came in from Liverpool. Paul Owen, an 18-year-old centre-back, 1.5 star current ability, 5 star potential. Bournemouth. Oh, I've got to scroll. Don't worry, there's more if you thought this was nearly over. Ryan Bremner, 18-year-old right back, 2 star current ability, 5 star potential. Came in from Liverpool. How many right backs have we signed from Liverpool at this point? John Bailey, 18-year-old right back, 2 star current ability, 4.5 star potential. Stoke. Patrick Smith, central midfielder, 18, 1.5 star, 4 star potential. Watford. Alan Diallo is a left back. Don't worry, you can play right back a bit as well. 18 years old, 2.5 star current ability and 4.5 star potential. Probably good enough to go into our team. He came in from Wolves. Michael Harvey's another right back. Of course he is. 2 star current ability, 4 star potential. Came in from Stoke. I'm sure that's the second right back we've signed from Stoke. Bradley Fuster, 27. Because we needed a 4th striker, Phyllis Kirk went, so we just brought in a 4th striker. He's similar position, advanced forward, 3 star current ability. He's scored goals at this level previously as well as in the league. He'll be in and around the mix for playing up front for us. And lastly, Bill Noon is an 18-year-old central midfielder. We didn't sign enough of those. 2 star current ability, 5 star potential. He comes in from Wolves. Now, all of that means that our team for the first game of the new season looks a lot like the team from last year because they're all kids who aren't good enough to play for us yet. It's a gamble. Laskowski and Borrell are the reason for the gamble because they both came in on that similar policy, 5 star potential from big clubs and have become very important players for us. So my theory is bring in 20 of them and hopefully a few of them will start to come through. And at least by doing it this way, as the season goes on and the players improve, although they're not all going to come good, even if only 4 of them come good, that's 4 players who are going to be really good, like Laskowski level good by the end of the season. And that you don't get that when you sign 25-year-old journeymen. They're just rubbish all year long. At least this way, they're rubbish now, but they've got the chance to get better. There is a method to the madness. I think we're probably going to lose today, though. So we're starting with Can in goal, a back 4 of Anderson, Nuloni, Redhead, Laskowski and more. Lionel Stone is injured. We actually had a couple of pre-season injuries that have knocked us a little bit because they're key players. Lionel Stone, Steve Borrell, Sedwin Scott, all injured. If you had to pick 3 of our most important players, you'd probably pick those 3. But Anderson, Redhead, Laskowski and Moore's on loan for another year, as are Hurd and Ball, who were with us last year. So they've come back, all 3 of them, for another year's loan. The midfield, new boy Byrne. He is believe it or not, an 18-year-old central midfielder. He's the one who came in from Liverpool. He's going to play alongside Hurd and Elliott in midfield. Tom Elliott is now only 3 appearances away from being Nuneaton's all-time record appearance holder, and he's got another year's contract. So if he can at least get 3 appearances in before all these youngsters come and steal his place in the team, I'll be happy, because he'll be a club legend. That, well, not, he won't officially be a club legend, but he'll be on the all-time records list. How is he? He's still not even on the favoured person. Oh, I am though. Amazing. I did try and sign Jordan Nicholson, but he went to Macclesfield instead. He's had a weird up and down career. Look at those leagues. What a strange career that man's having. But I'm on the favoured personnel after a really disappointing year last year. I don't understand. Sedwin Scott, Livesey Mason, Darren McQueen, they're all icons. This is a weird football club. And then we've got Ball in behind, Original Omar and Mason up front with a bunch of the youngsters and Kaduba down on the bench. We're back to our 4-3-1-2. This is the exact version of the 4-3-1-2 that worked with Oxford in non-league to legend and is currently working with Portsmouth in non-league to legend. The difference is when we were with Oxford, we messed around with mentality quite a lot, whereas with Portsmouth, we're not doing that over in that save. I'm going to start with the not messing around with mentality option until we lose like 6 games in a row. Then we might start fiddling with mentality. But I really have no idea how good we're going to be. It's quite fun. It's added new life and excitement into the save, having all these new players. It's just like we've had a big fat gamble where, we don't know, we've brought in all these youngsters. They could all be rubbish. Redhead's just given away a penalty after 2 minutes. But we could get a couple of absolute gems and make some new heroes. And, Ted Can's just saved a penalty. What's a hero? If nothing else, they're all here only on 1-year contracts. So if any of them start to look really good, we'll extend their contracts mid-season. The ones that don't look good, we'll just bin them off and bring in a whole load more players on £160 a week next summer. But I think on the budget we're working on, it seems to be a fairly sensible way to do business. Maybe sensible. Well, look at all those right backs. But all we've really done, because we don't really have much in the way of youth development, because all the players who come through it are rubbish, we've just brought in a load of 17 and 18-year-olds. Some of them will go into the first team squad. The rest of them will go into the under-23s and the under-18s. They're all going to get game time somewhere. And I don't know, I think our total playing staff across first team and youth team is still only like 50 players, which it's not that unrealistic, I don't think. 0-0 at half-time. I would have taken that beforehand. We're doing better for possession. They've had 1 clear-cut chance to our 0 and 3 half chances to our 2, but they've not scored, and that's important. They've missed a penalty as well. Well, can save the penalty. Let's give him. I mean, is he going to save another one? Because we've just given away another one, and unbelievably, it's Redhead has now given away 2 penalties. Come on, Ted, do your thing. Save it again. I thought he was for a minute there. But now we are 1-0 down. I might have to have a word with this Redhead lad. 2 penalties conceded. I mean, it's just like he just doesn't understand the start of the half. Oh, the first foul is free. Because it's 2 minutes into both halves he's done that. He might be a problem. But then that's the joy of having 8 other young centre-backs at the club. If he's not any good, we'll just bin him off and you'll never see him again. According to this, he's been the best player on the pitch despite giving away 2 penalties. That might say more about the rest of the team than him. That's a bit worrying. All those yellow cards as well. Oh, this has started well. Right, let's make some substitutions. Mason, not really turned up. Bring on new boy Fuster. Byrne. Let's take it. Oh, Kaduba. Is he really what we've got sat down there on the bench? Laskowski's not having a very good game. But Sawyer, who would be the player who'd come on for him, looks like he's injured. But not proper injured. He can come on. And that will do for now. Because we will bring probably the other right back on. There's no point bringing on Joel Kaduba. I was going to release him, but apparently he had a clause in his contract. Some idiot put in that if we didn't get relegated, he'd get a year extension. We didn't get relegated. All thanks to him. I mean, I did say on a video that he'd saved our season, and he's used that to get himself a year's contract extension on about £900 a week, which under the new world here at Nuneaton, he never would have got a contract on that kind of money. But he's the last of the old bunch. Let's bring Reece Williams on then at right back. So a couple of the youngsters getting into the defence. Omar, what can he do? Absolutely nothing. And they hit it wide. Good. I mean, we've not been miles off the pace. We're actually creating quite a few chances. We're just missing them. So once Sedwin Scott's fit, maybe we might have a chance. We've committed a lot of fouls. But just losing only 1-0 on the first game of the season away from home, I can live with that. If we grab an equaliser, I'll be even happier. The board just want me to avoid relegation again. So if we have to reset a little bit and give some of these youngsters a year to develop, I'd rather have a mid-table season where we're bringing through loads of youngsters than a mid-table season full of journeymen where I'm just miserable. So we will get promoted one day. Just might not be today. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.